Happy Sunday, everybody. We'll just give 1 second here for Sandy to get everybody on mute. Okay. Before we get started today, grab a strap of some kind. If you don't have a yoga strap, grab a belt, a robe belt, a dog leash. Even a towel would work. It's for Supta Padangusthasana, the hand to big toe, and we're on our back going around, and we'll do a little bit of shoulder stretching. So you don't need a ton of length if you can get your hands up, but something for that. So have that handy at the top of your mat, and find a comfortable seat. And actually, if you have a block or a pillow or a bolster or something to sit in, grab it and we'll sit in Virasana. So in Virasana, your sit bones need to be connected down to something, and then your heels on the outside of your hips. So some people can sit all the way down without a block, but are usually early in class. It's nice to sit up on something. And if you don't have something to sit up on, just go ahead and sit on your bottom in traditional easy seat pose here. And this will just be something, I like to do things like this at the beginning of class because we're sitting and talking anyway. And so we're just gonna let gravity help open us up a little bit, because this is how we gain flexibility, is by holding these types of poses for longer periods of time. And when you hold a pose for a longer period of time, a little bit of support, like a block or a bolster or a blanket, typically helps ease some of that discomfort while still helping you open up those muscles. So if we could all find your comfortable seat, whether it's in supported Virasana or easy seat, sit up really nice and tall, breathe all the way through your spine, all the way to the very tippy top of your head. Take those shoulders out to the long sides of your mat, and then the shoulder blades down onto your back. Take your chin back just a little bit. Find a comfortable place for your hands. So last week, we were talking about the pivot, right? And how important it was both on and off the mat. And I just wanted to keep expanding on that a little bit. So we're working with Southwest Lake Life magazine, which is a small local publication. For those of you that live up here close to the Lake Zurich studio, you probably know about it. We've been running some ads with them, and they are interviewing us for an article in January. And one of the questions that was asked of us this week was what do you see for yoga in 2021, or what will yoga bring to 2021? And I really had to think a little bit about that question, and I didn't want to take it in the direction of trends and things like that. I certainly can't predict that. And so what I said was basically what we talked about last week. I said, if 2020 has taught us nothing else, it's that if we don't have a strong foundation of balance and flexibility, then we can't pivot when we need to, quickly and easily and without a lot of disruption. And I mean that both physically as well as metaphorically off of the mat. Again, talking about that foundation of balance and of flexibility, and how much easier that makes your life when you do have to pivot, right? And we know that from our yoga practice, again, when we do a lot of those turns, when we mess with our foundation, we do all that pivoting, how we do fall out of balance very easily. And things like balance and flexibility don't come overnight, right? Just because we do it today here in class doesn't mean that then tomorrow you're going to be able to stand on one foot, right? But over time, whether for some of you that might be weeks, for some of you that might be months, for some of you that might be years, over time, our bodies, learn, we get stronger, we learn how to pull in more, we start to get that, and then we just build up, and it does become easier. Things like I joke around when we do cow face arms, I say, do this 5 times a week now, and then next summer you'll be able to put sunscreen on your own backs, right? It doesn't happen overnight, but over the course of many, many months, maybe even years, you get closer and closer and closer, and then all of a sudden one day it's there for you. So I guess the moral of the story is just think about the long game and think about building that foundation now for your long-term health, both mental and physical, so that when life does get disrupted, when your foundation does get disrupted, you can easily pivot and hold that balance. So since we're not in studio, we can do some open mouth breath here. So let's all take a nice big deep breath in through your nose, and then open mouth exhale, let it all out. Inhale, fill up the belly, lengthen the spine, hold it at the top. Exhale, keep that length as you let it all out and feel the belly cave in just a little bit. Again, inhaling up through the nose, lots of length, fill the belly. Exhale, open mouth, let it all out. All right, gently flutter open your eyes, move away any props, grab your strap and come onto your back. We're gonna start off, like I said, with supine hand to big toe or supta padding Virasana. So come on to your backs and let's see, take your left leg out long and then bring your right knee up into your chest, okay? Before you do anything else, flex both feet and think about this left leg here and really pressing your left thigh down into the mat and take your left hand to your left hip and just feel how it's right there. And we're gonna press that down into the mat, okay? So now go ahead and take your hands, grab your strap. We're gonna take your strap out, bottom arch of your foot and extend your right foot up into the sky. Keep that foot flexed and crawl both hands up as high on the strap as you can towards your foot or your ankle. Okay, and then still pay attention to that left leg, flex your left toes, press your left thigh down into the mat. Okay, hold this here for just another breath. And take an inhale in, and on your exhale, nice, very gentle pull, just a little closer into your chest. You don't really have to move it much to feel it much. We don't want to overdo it. You don't want to overstretch yourself, and hurt yourself. All right, take both straps into that right hand. Take this left hand and place it back on that left hip. We're going to use this to ground down and flex through that right foot. Take a breath in, and on your exhale, slowly open up your right foot to the right side. Whole time, press down on your left hip. Only take your right foot as far over to the right as you can without this hip coming up. As soon as you feel it come up, if you feel this butt cheek come up off of the mat a little bit, your hip roll, bring it back over, press down, okay? So just keep on working nice and slow. Take a breath in. On your exhale, try it just a little bit further. One more round of breath here. And on your next inhale, slowly bring that right leg up. Try to use your leg muscle, not the strap, to pull the right leg back up. All right, switch it out. Take the strap into your left hand. Let your right arm go long on the mat. Keep the foot flexed. And on your exhale, we're only going to take it over to the left about maybe 3 or 4 inches. So not full cross body. We're just taking it a couple inches. Turn your pinky toe towards you a little bit more. And then take it just a little bit more over to the left, just a couple more inches. Again, really consciously think about pulling that pinky toe towards you. And then slowly take it over a little bit more. You're welcome to stay here and keep really digging into the side of your leg here. Or if you want to take a full twist, you can go ahead and let that right hip come up off of the earth and take your foot over to the left. But you want to leave your right shoulder blade pinned down to the mat. And then slowly bring it back up. Bring the strap into both hands again. Keep both feet flexed. Take a breath in. And again, nice gentle pull in towards your chest. You might find that you can bring it just a little bit further than last time, but again, don't press it too much. All right, go ahead and bend your knee, release the strap. Let it down to the side, let both legs go long, shake it out, and then just lay here for 1 second and feel the difference between these two legs. All right, excuse me, left knee pulls into your chest. Again, flex through both feet here and press that right thigh now down into the mat. Maybe even take your right hand to your hip and give it a physical press down into the mat. All right, go ahead and take that strap and put it on the arch of your left foot. And extend your left foot up towards the sky. Bring the strap into both hands as close up to your foot as you can, leaving both shoulders still on the mat. Flex to the right foot, press onto the right thigh, flex to the left foot. Take a breath in here and exhale, slowly pull just a little bit in towards your chest. Keep all the engagement in both of your legs. All right, bring both straps into your left hand. Take your right hand and place it on your right hip. Press that hip down into the mat. Take a breath in here. Exhale, slowly open up your left foot to the left side. Again, only as far as you can before you feel that hip pop up. As soon as you feel it pop up, bring it back a little bit, press down, take a breath in, and maybe try it again. Nice and slow. Each inhale, let go just a little, exhale, let go just a little bit more. On your next inhale, slowly bring it up. Again, try to release the tension in the strap and see if you can bring your leg up without the strap. All right, bring those straps into your right hand. Take your left hand down long onto the mat. Take a breath in here, flex both feet, exhale just about 2 or 3 or 4 inches over to the right. Hold it here. Pay attention to your right leg. Are you pressing the thigh down? Turn your left pinky toe towards your nose just a little bit. Take a breath in, exhale another couple inches over to the right. One more time, deep breath in, exhale a couple more inches. And then either stay here to really feel this right here, or if you want to add some twist to it, go ahead and take that left foot over to the right, rolling off of your hip, but keeping your shoulders pinned down. And again, without using the strap, try to inhale the leg back up to center. Strap comes into both hands. Nice breath in, exhale, pull it down towards your chest. And then bend the knee, release the foot, shake it on out. Just go ahead and keep that strap towards the top of your mat. We're going to use it again in a moment. And bring the knees both into your chest. Rock and roll the length of your spine. And then come on all the way up through seated, through tabletop, right up into a downward facing dog at the top of your mat. So if you remember a couple weeks ago, I did a downward dog free class. This week is about as opposite of that as you're going to get. So if at any time, this is going to be a lot of shoulders today. So if at any time during practice it becomes too much on your shoulders, you can always bring your knees down, take a little break. You can always bring your knees down, sink back into a child's pose, okay? All right, inhale those hips up just a little bit higher, and then exhale your heels down just a little bit more. Take a look up towards your hands, bend your knees, and on your next exhale, journey to the top of your mat, finding a forward fold. Inhale it up, halfway lift, hands to your shins, Ardha Uttanasana. Take your tailbone back and apart, shoulder blades onto your back. Exhale, fold it back down. 2 more times, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. 1 more time, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Put a slight bend in those knees. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up to the sky. And then bring your hands down to your heart center. Grab that strap again. Feet should be hip distance apart. You can bring the strap just about as wide as your legs are here, so not too much wider than your feet. And then go ahead and inhale, bring it up. Press down through your feet, pull up to the abs, and then pull on the strap as if you're trying to split it right in half. Keep all that tension as you keep reaching up, shoulder blades down. Take a breath in here and then exhale, reach to the right. Keep pressing through that left foot. Bring it up to center and exhale it to the other side. And back to center and release the strap down. Go ahead and drop it down off to the side. We'll use it again in just a little bit. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up, fingers spread really, really wide. Again, pull the shoulder blades down, reach up through the fingertips, maybe even send your gaze up towards the sky. And take another breath in here. Exhale, forward fold down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into a plank pose. All right. In this plank pose, raise your hips up, downward facing dog. Pedal out your dog, bending one knee, straightening the other. And then let's slowly walk your hands back towards your feet for a forward fold at the back of the mat. If you're like me, my hips always come back past my ankles, so I'm going to consciously move my hips forward just a little bit so I'm in line right over my ankles. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, bring it all the way up. Reach for the sky, leave the fingertips extended, pull the shoulder blades down. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, lean to the right. Inhale it back up to center. Exhale it off to the left. Bring it back to center. Take another breath in. Exhale, right hand behind you, left hand forward. Nice big twist. Keep pulling forward with the right hip and back with the left. Inhale it back up to center. Exhale the other side, right hand forward, left hand back, right hip back, left hip forward. Bring it back to center. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, walk forward into a plank. And drop the knees down. Take the big toes a touch, spread the knees just a little bit, and sink back. Child's pose. Good, I couldn't think of that word for anything, child's pose. Let's keep this nice and active. So keeping your forehead down onto the mat, crawl your fingertips up towards the top of the mat, and then tent your hands so your palms come up off the mat and you're just on your fingertips. Keep pressing your sit bones back towards your heels. Take a breath in here and then exhale, walk your hands on over to the right. Press down through the left hip as you reach through the left fingertips. Go ahead and inhale, bring it back to the center, and then exhale off to the other side. And then bring it back through center. Shift your weight forward, and then raise the hips up, downward facing dog. All right, pressing down evenly through both hands, shift the weight to your left foot and raise your right toes up. We're gonna slowly stack your right hip over on top of your left, pulling up through the left shoulder so that it stays nice and even, and then bend through the right knee. Try to take the right heel down towards the glutes and the knee up towards the sky. Go ahead and straighten through the right leg, and then bring that right foot forward, plant it down in between your hands, in between your thumbs, and drop your left knee down to the mat. And then bring your torso up, fingertips facing down towards the earth. Right knee is in line right over your ankle, squeezing the right heel towards the left knee. Bring your arms up halfway. Slowly flip the palms, shoulder blades on your back, and then reach it all the way up. Keep on reaching through the left hand, bring your right hand down to your side. Reach up to the left fingertips, and then exhale, reach it over your ear towards the right side. Pretend like you're trying to touch the earth with your right fingertips. Some of you maybe can even do it. I cannot. Keep reaching over with the left, down with the right, and then inhale, bring it back up to center. Go ahead and frame that foot, raise your back knee, and step back, downward facing dog. All right, this time shift the weight to your right foot, lift your left toes up, slowly stack that left hip on top of your right, and then bend through the knee, taking the heel towards the glutes, knee up through towards the sky. Pull up through the right shoulder and press down through the right heel. Go ahead and straighten out that leg and then send it on through. Plant it on the mat, however you need to get it there. Drop your right knee down, and when you're ready, come on up, fingertips pointing down. Engage through the lower half, get your foundation here, and then inhale, halfway up with your arms. Go ahead and flip those palms, pull the shoulders onto your back, and then reach it up. Keeping that right hand extended, take your left fingertips down towards the earth. So it's the same knee that's bent. Those are the fingertips that are going to go down. Reach up through the right, and then exhale, reach over your ear towards the left, trying to take those left fingertips all the way down to the earth. And then inhale, bring it back up, frame the foot, and step back, downward facing dog. Bend the knees and look forward. And exhale, journey to the top of your mat into a forward fold. Inhale it up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's bring it all the way up. Keep your hands extended. Squeeze the imaginary beach ball. Take a breath in, and exhale, take it over to the right. Inhale it back up, and exhale it to the left. Inhale it back up. Exhale, take that twist. Right hand back, left hand forward, hips pulling towards the top of the mat. Inhale it back up. Exhale to the other side. Right hand forward, left hand back. Bring it back up and hands down to your heart center. All right, feet hip distance apart if you're not there already. Take a breath in, open mouth exhale, let it all out. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to a plank pose. Shoulder blades on your back, lift up through the quads and press back through the heels. Belly button in, up towards the spine. Inhale, shift forward just a little bit. Exhale, bend those elbows back towards your rib cage. Chaturanga Dandasana, come all the way down to your stomachs. Flip the toes, press the toenails firmly into the mat. Inhale, heart forward, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then release the knees down to the mat. Come into a tabletop position. Shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. And then reach your right hand forward and take your left hand back, or left toes back. Turn your toes to face the mat. If you can, take a look down. My shirt's in the way. Take a look down. Can you see your toes? Okay, so you want a nice straight line back, even with your hips. Take a breath in here. Exhale, bring your elbow towards your knee. Curl it in, crunch it in. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale for length. Exhale, press it all out. Inhale here. All right, take your left toes down to the mat right behind you, and then bring your right hand down to the mat. So you've got your left leg extended back here, okay? Take a breath in, lift the foot up. Exhale, take it off to the left, tap it down. Inhale it back to center. Exhale to the left. Back to center, to the left, and back to center. And then pull that knee in, tabletop position. Okay, this time we're gonna take the left fingertips forward, right foot back, turn those toes, take a look down. Can you see your toes? Nice straight line from your hip. Inhale for length, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale and exhale. Again, reaching it out and pulling it in. And then reach it all the way out. Drop the right toes down right behind you with your leg extended and bring your left hand back down to the mat. So right leg is extended back. Take a breath in as you lift the toes. Exhale, tap your right toes out to the right. Inhale it back through. Exhale, tap it out. To center and to the right. And back to center. Leave your right foot extended back. Lift your left knee. Place your left foot next to it for a plank pose. We're going to do it again from plank. If this is too much on the shoulders, drop the knees down. Do it from the knees again. Left toes come up. Tap it to the left. Bring it back to center. Tap it out. And center. We'll just do two. Bring your right toes up. Tap them out. Bring them back. Tap them out. Bring them back. Come on down to your knees. Sink back. Child's pose. Remember, at any time during class, please come down to your knees. We're building strength in our shoulders. We don't expect everyone to have it. It's a long process. So have patience with yourself. It's the long game, guys. All right, press yourself back up. Come back through downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Look towards your fingertips. On your exhale, come to the top of your mat. Find a forward fold. Inhale it up, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up to the sky. Then exhale, hands down to your heart center. Okay, got to see my notes here. Okay, fun, fun, fun. Come onto the top of your mat. I tried to wear really colorful pants so I didn't blend in, and then this part right here blends right in, so sorry for like the floating pink. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold it down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, either plank or right into downward facing dog, whatever works for you. If you want to add the vinyasa, go right ahead and lower down through your Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling up into your back bend, and exhale, meeting the rest of us in downward facing dog. All right, shift the weight to your left foot, raise your right toes. This time, bend your right knee, and then stack your hip over on top of the left. Again, taking the knee up towards the sky. Go ahead and straighten through, and then draw that knee in towards your nose and place the foot down on the mat in between your thumbs, however you need to get it there. And once you're there, drop your left knee down and come on back up into this low lunge. Get your foundation here. Inhale, reach your arms up. Take a breath in, exhale, right hand behind you, left hand forward, open arm twist. And then bring it back to center. Let's take your hands behind your back, clasp your hands. Inhale, straighten the elbows away, pull the shoulder blades onto your back, shine your heart forward. You can stay here, or if you'd like to take a little back bend, take a breath in, and on your exhale, bring those fingers down towards your left calf. And release the grasp, reach it all the way up. Let's frame your foot and raise your back knee up. And then we're gonna pivot into a prasarta, wide-legged fold. So take your left foot flat down to the mat, left toes to the left side of your mat, straighten through your right leg, crawl your hands in between your legs, taking your right toes to meet your left. So we're all in a wide-legged fold, facing the long left side of our mat. Come up onto your fingertips, halfway lift, and then exhale, fold it back down. Let the crown of your head hang heavy, so don't have your neck up like I am. I'm looking at you guys. So let your head hang down, so you should be looking at the wall behind you, or any friends or animals that are behind you. All right, take your right toes and turn them 45 degrees to the right. Put a bend in your right knee and walk your hands over towards the right foot. And then straighten to that right leg, bring it back through center, take those right toes back to face the front, take your left toes at that 45-degree angle, bend your left knee, and walk your hands over to the left side. And then straighten through and bring it back to center. Let's turn both toes at that 45-degree angle, okay? And then put a bend in both knees. And then either straighten your legs to come up or bring your hands right to your hips and then bring your torso up. And we're all gonna meet in a goddess squat. So take a look. Right now my knees are not quite over my ankles, so I'm gonna bring my heels both in just a little bit more. I want my knees tracking right over my ankles. All right, hands to your heart center, squat it down. And then let's inhale, straighten your legs, reach your arms up into a 5-pointed star. Don't let this feel like a resting pose. Take the crown of your head up, simultaneously pointing the tailbone down. Reach through the fingertips and press through the outside edges of your feet. Shoot energy out of all 5 stars here, 5 corners. Take another breath in. Exhale, bend your knees, cactus your arms, sink back down into that goddess. Inhale it up into your star. And one more time, exhaling it down into your goddess. See if you can get it just a little bit lower than last time. And then inhale it back up, star. Bring your arms out, parallel to the earth. Turn your left toes all the way to that long left side of your mat, right toes to the top of the mat, bend your knee, finding your first warrior 2. Take a look, is that knee in line right over your ankle? Make any adjustments you need to with the back foot if you want to widen out or shorten. Okay, flip your right palm and reverse your warrior, first pressing it up towards the sky and then over your ear towards the wall behind you. And then pull yourself back up, warrior two, straighten through your front leg, flip your palm, and let's reverse it again, reversing your triangle this time. Bring your arms back through, keeping that leg straight, pull back through the left hip, reach through the fingertips, and then exhale, sweep that right hand all the way down, left hand reaches up, triangle pose. Right hand can be on a block on your leg on the floor. Maybe send your gaze up towards the left fingertip. Keep pressing to the outside edge of your back foot. And then use your side body to slowly pull yourself back up. Bend back through that knee. And then let's cartwheel your hands down, spin to the ball of your left foot, and step back, downward facing dog. All right, this time the left toes come up from our downward facing dog. We're gonna bend through the left knee and then stack that left hip over on top of the right. Pull up through the right shoulder and press down through the right heel as you raise that knee up towards the sky. Go ahead and straighten through the left foot, pull the knee in towards your nose, and then go ahead and place that foot down on the mat, making its way in between your thumbs, however you need to get there, and then drop the right knee down and bring it on up. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky if you haven't already. Shoulder blades down onto your back. Take a nice breath in here and then exhale, right hand forward, left hand back, open arm twist. And then bring it back up to center. Let's bring your hands behind your back. Take that clasp, opposite thumb on top from last time, the funky grip. Inhale, straighten your elbows away, shoulders onto your back. Keep your hips right where they are. Take a breath in, and if you want to add a back bend, bring your heart up towards the sky, knuckles down towards the leg. And bring it back up, release the clasp, reach your arms up. Frame the foot, raise the back knee, and we're gonna pivot back into that wide-legged fold. So bring your hands over to the inside of your left foot, crawl them to the long right side of the mat, spin your toes towards the long right side of your mat into the Prasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale it up, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Let the crown of your head come down towards the earth, hips up towards the sky. We're gonna take those lunges again. So come up onto your hands, turn your right toes to a 45-degree angle, walk your hands over towards the right foot, bend through the right knee. And then we'll switch it out, straighten through the right leg, walk your hands to the middle, turn the right toes back to where they started, turn the left toes to a 45-degree angle, bend the knee, walk your hands on over. And then straighten through that leg, bring it back to the center. All right, this time we're gonna leave the feet right where they are, bring your hands to your hips, inhale, rise up. Now we're gonna turn the toes back to those 45 degrees. Reach your arms up, find your 5-pointed star. Take a breath in, exhale, bend through the knees, cactus the arms, find your goddess, make any adjustments you need to. Take a look down, or can you see your big toes, maybe your first toe, and then sink it down just a little bit more. Inhale, reach it up into a star. Exhale, sink it down, goddess. Again, inhale it up, lots of energy. One last time, make it your strongest yet. And then bring it up, 5-pointed star. Bring your arms parallel to the earth, turn those left toes all the way to the top of the mat, right toes to the long right side of your mat, bend through your knee, find your your warrior two on this side. Again, adjusting through the back foot to widen or shorten your stance. Flip your left palm and reverse your warrior, taking the fingertips up and then back. Keep the left knee right over your ankle. If you lost the bend, bend back into it. Bring your arms back around. And now go ahead and straighten through the front leg. Again, flip your palm, take the fingertips up towards the sky and then over the ear towards the back of your mat. Keep your back leg strong here. Press the outside edge of that foot. And then bring it back through. Nice big deep breath in, reach towards the top of the mat. Exhale, sweep those arms open into your triangle on the other side. Using the side body, slowly pull yourself back up. One last warrior two for now. Windmill the hands, frame the foot, step back, downward facing dog, or you can shift forward into a plank here and take a vinyasa. If that's what's calling to you, you can always step it up or step it down, whatever you need. Listen to your body. When you're ready, bend your knees and look forward, and exhale, come to the top of the mat into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, let's come all the way up. And bring your hands to your heart center. Grab a sip of water if you need it. We're going to start adding in that balance we talked about now that we're all nice and loose. Once you have that water, come to the top of your mat, feet hip distance apart. I've said it before, you need to feel really stable on 2 feet before we start balancing on 1. So think about not just standing on the mat, but actually pressing your feet down into the mat. And feel all 4 corners. If you picture this, your hand is your foot, kind of make a square, and that's, you want to press firmly down evenly. So if you start to come off of balance at any given time, if say you start to teeter to the right, don't overcompensate by then pressing into the left side. Mentally think about just pressing down, evenly down versus overcompensating by going to the other side, okay? All right, so playing with that balance, press down through the right foot, come onto the left toes, pull up through the abs, right? Down through the shoulders, up through the crown of the head, and then bring the knee up, flex through the foot. Firm up through the standing thigh, press the thigh back, and then bring those left toes down to the earth. Keep the bend in the knee, and then we're going to open up the left knee to the left side in a kickstand tree pose here. Take your right hand to your hip, left hand to the left leg, and then give them both a little pull back. Try to keep all of that as you remove your hands, bring them back to heart center. And then bring it back to center and let it go. Shake it out. We'll do the other side. Shifting now into your left foot, pressing down into the mat, come onto the right toes, pull up to the abs, down to the shoulders, lift the right knee up. Take the left thigh back, crown of the head up. Don't forget to breathe. And then bring the right toes down to the mat, leave the knee bent, and then open up the right knee to the right side. Hand to the leg, hand to the hip, press them both back. Keep everything right where it is, remove the hands back to heart center. Knee comes forward and let it go. All right, so now we will do tree, and then we're going to come right out of tree, pulling the knee back into the chest, and then stepping it back into a high lunge. If you don't feel confident in coming all the way from here, all the way back into your high lunge, you can always bring the toes down and walk them back, okay? So stepping into the right foot, come onto the left toes, get everything nice and engaged, draw the knee up. Okay, we're gonna find your tree pose. So coming back either into that kickstand or bringing your foot to your calf or grabbing for the ankle and pulling it up into your thigh. Press your foot into your leg into your foot. Pull the belly button up towards the spine. Maybe growing your branches if you feel strong and steady. If you've done that, bring your hands back to your heart center. We're gonna, wherever your tree is, we're gonna release the foot and try to draw the knee back to the center. And then slowly step that foot back, and we'll all meet in a high lunge at the top of the, with the right foot forward, the left foot back, right knee is right over that ankle. Inhale, reach your arms up. Nice strong back leg, pull up to the left quad and press back to the left heel. Think a little bit lower Take your right hand down to your side. Reach up through the left fingertips and then over your ear towards the right side. And then bring it back up. Spin your back foot flat and come back into a warrior two pose. Tidy up your warrior. Take a moment to get that knee right over your ankle. Widen your stance if you need to. Let's flip the right palm and reverse your warrior. Bring it back through center. Straighten the front leg. Let's reach towards the top of the mat and open up into another triangle pose, bringing the right hand to your leg, a block, or back down to the earth. Take your time. Make little movements with your breath. Reach up through the left fingertips, pull the right fingertips up from wherever they are, and then use the side body to straighten back out and bend back into that right leg. Now we're gonna reach towards the top of the mat, bend your right elbow, place the forearm on the thigh, reach your left fingertips up towards the sky, hold it here. Plug the shoulder blade down onto your back, and then reach the fingertips over your ear towards the top of the mat. Press the outside edge of your back foot, maybe send your gaze up towards that hand. Nice long side body. And then pull that left hand back towards the back of your mat. Reach your right hand up, warrior two. Let's go ahead and windmill your hands, come down, frame your foot, and step back, downward facing dog. And then shift forward, everyone, into a plank. We're gonna bend the elbows and lower down to your stomachs. Turn the toes, press the toenails into the mat, and then bring your forearms onto the mat for a Sphinx pose. So shoulders in line right over your elbows, press your palms down into the mat. Press your toenails into the mat so much that your kneecaps come up. Draw your belly button up and towards your spine, and then energetically draw your elbows back towards your ribs and lift your heart. Keep all that engagement. This is a super active pose, so if it feels restful, engage the legs, engage the abs, press through the palms. All right, release your Sphinx pose, crawl your hands back so their fingertips are in line with about your armpits. Curl your toes and press up either through table or reverse plank, coming into a downward facing dog. Bend your knees and look forward, and on your exhale, come to the top of the mat into a forward fold. Inhale it up halfway, exhale, fold. Then inhale, reach all the way for the sky, and bring your hands down to your heart center. We have a tree pose to do on the other side. Shift the weight to your left foot now. Get all that engagement before you do anything else. Come onto the right toes, and then draw that right knee up. And then find your tree pose, whether taking your toes back down for kickstand, finding the calf, or drawing the foot into your upper thigh. Wherever you are, press down evenly through all four corners of the left foot. Nice tall spine. Think about pressing the tailbone down towards the earth at the same time as the crown of the head up. If you'd like to grow your branches, feel free. If you've done so, bring your hands back to your heart center. Slowly release the foot, bring the knee back to the center, and then slowly step it back, finding your high lunge. Left foot forward, right foot back. And when you're ready, reach your arms up. All right, left hand comes down towards the earth, reach up through the right fingertips, and then pull the right hand over your ear towards the left side as if you're trying to get your left fingertips down onto the mat. Bring it back up, and then spin your back foot flat, coming back into warrior two, left foot forward. Left knee in line over the ankle, keeping it there as you flip the left palm and reverse your warrior. If you've lost the bend, bend a little bit more. And then bring your arms back through, straighten your front leg, reach towards the top of the mat as far as you can, and then sweep open, finding your triangle pose on this side. Again, using the breath to make micro movements, lengthening the side body, twisting a little bit more. Start to reach up through the right fingertips, pull the left fingertips up off of the earth or your block, and then straighten your arms back out nice and parallel and bend through into your warrior two. Reach towards the top of the mat, take that forearm to your thigh, reach your right fingertips up, pull the shoulder blades down, and then reach the right fingertips over your ear towards the top of the mat. Think about now your left rib cage. This is the part that's towards the bottom, and we want to try to straighten that out. So pull your ribs towards your knee, if that makes sense. So we're not rounding, we're lengthening your bottom rib cage here. And then go ahead and pull it back up. Windmill the hands, frame the foot, step back, downward facing dog. Shift your weight forward into a plank, and either staying through Chaturanga or taking your knees down, let's bend your elbows and come down to your stomachs again. This time, tuck the toes under, press with the toenails, and then bring your hands along your side. Okay, so same thing as in the Sphinx. Press your toenails into the mat, lift your kneecaps up, pull your abs up and in as if you're trying to get your belly button off of the earth. Inhale your chin and your chest up. If it feels okay, bring your fingertips up. If it feels okay, bring your toes up. If at any point you start to feel this in your low back, lower something else back down. Keep on reaching those fingers towards your toes, heart towards the top of the mat, and then release it down. Bring your hands back into the cobra position, curl those toes under and press up, downward facing dog. Bend your knees and look forward, and exhale, come to the top of your mat into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. And hands to your heart center. All right, we're gonna balance, step back into that high lunge again so you know your options. Go ahead and press down through the right foot, come onto the left toes, and draw the knee up. Hold this balance. Firm up through the right thigh. And then we're gonna meet in that high lunge. So you take your toes down and walk it back, or slowly stretch your leg back, maybe even hovering. Not happening for me right now. And then taking the toes down and finding your high lunge. All right, let's take that open arm twist here. Reach your arms up, right hand back, left hand forward. Bring it back to center. And then let's lower that knee down to the mat, nice and slow. Maybe even hover it right over the knee, or I'm sorry, over the mat, and then release it all the way down. Let's bring your hands down to the mat. We're gonna come into a lizard lunge. So bring both hands to the inside of your right foot, crawl your right foot on over to the long side of your mat. Let's press the knee away a little bit, add a little bit of movement into the joint here. Oil things up. And then find your lizard lunge, either staying right here, if that feels good, maybe bringing both hands down, maybe bringing your forearms down to a block, to a bolster, or all the way down to the mat. If it feels good, you can come onto the knife edge of the right foot and push away just even a little bit more. You can always press away in this position. You know the drill. Yogi's choice, whatever feels good for you. Okay, we're gonna come out of this a little bit more actively than we usually do. So come up onto your hands if you haven't already. Leave your hands to the inside of your foot, raise your back knee up. Okay, so option is to step back to plank, or if you want a little bit more challenge, you tap that knee to your elbow and then back to plank. And so we're all in plank, so let's even it out. Take your left knee, tap your elbow, and there you go. And then bring it up, downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna do those knee taps again from downward facing dog. So bring your right toes up and then tap your right elbow. And then bring it back, downward facing dog. Bring your left toes up, tap your left elbow with that left knee, and then bring it back, to downward facing dog. This time, lift your right toes up, bring your knee in towards your nose, place your foot between your thumbs, runner's lunge. Hold this here, shoulders away from your ears, pressing up through the quad and back through the heel. Lower the hips down just a little bit more. If you need blocks here, you can always have your hands on blocks because we want lots of length. Don't collapse in, no cat poses here. All right, we're gonna come forward into either a forward fold, or if you'd like to, take a standing split. Either way, press down through your right foot, lift your left toes up. Maybe lifting them up higher, holding a standing split. If you really want to play with your balance, you can, in the standing split, take your right hand to your right calf and then place the hand back down. And then take the left hand to your calf and then place it back down. And then maybe take the right hand there, maybe take the left hand there, and really practice your balance. And then release the left toes down, forward fold. Inhale it up, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's inhale, come all the way up and bring those hands down to your heart center. Take a nice big deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it all out. Again, big deep breath in. Open mouth, let it all out. Okay. Nice, strong, steady stance on both feet. Shift the weight now into your left. Come onto those right toes and pull that right knee up. Hold it here. And then we're going to slowly find that high lunge, either walking your foot back, stretching it back, maybe hovering it for just a moment before you trust the earth. Ooh, and find that high lunge with your left foot forward. Reach it up for the sky if you're not there already. Take a deep breath in, reach nice and tall. Exhale, right hand forward, left hand back. If you feel unsteady here, think about your foundation. Draw the heel towards the knee, knee towards the heel. Reach it back up. We're gonna take that slow, low down. So slowly bend through the right knee, maybe even hover it right over the mat. And then bring it all the way down if you've done that. And then let's take that lizard lunge, frame your foot, and then bring both hands to the inside of your left foot. Crawl your left foot to the long left side of your mat. Go ahead and make a little bit of movement here, pressing the knee away. Take it back and forth a little bit. And just make a mental note. One might feel really different from the other side. We want to try to do the same thing on both sides, but listen to your body. If it doesn't work, don't do it, okay? Test it out. Try different levels. Find the lizard lunge that works for you on the left side. My left hip is much more open than my right. All right, wherever you are in your lizard lunge, come onto your palms. We're going to curl the back toes under and raise the back knee up. And then again, you can either step back into your plank, or if you want to hover for just a moment, you press your hands, raise those left toes up and tap your knee, and then step it back to your plank. Even it out, take your right toes up, tap your right knee, and take it back and press up, downward facing dog. Okay, this time the left toes come up, tap your left knee to your left elbow, and then back into your downward facing dog. This time the right toes come up, bring it forward, right knee taps the right elbow, and then press it back, downward facing dog. This time left toes come up, bring your knee in towards your nose, and then place your foot down on the earth in between the thumbs. Hold your runner's lunge. Again, if you need blocks here, grab some blocks. Give yourself lots of length in the spine wherever you are, crown of the head. Gives you lots of length here, pressing it towards the top of your mat. All right, option to either step forward into forward folds or take those standing splits, press down through the left foot, raise your right toes up. If you're in those standing splits, try to take the crown of your head towards your toes, raising the heel up just a little bit higher, and then maybe play with balance. Press down through all four corners of that foot before you take your left hand to your calf or ankle. Take the hand back down to the mat. Maybe take the right hand. Place it back down. Maybe we try both on this side. And then release the right toes down if you haven't already. All right, hold this forward fold. Bend through the left knee. Place your left hand firmly down on a mat or a block. Take your right hand to your hip. Turn your torso to the right side and then reach your right hand up. So we've got a straight right leg, a bent left leg. And then we're going to switch it out. Bring the right hand down, bend through the right knee, take the left hand to the hip, take your twist, and then reach the left hand up. And then release it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's come all the way up. And bring your hands down to your heart center. Let the blood rush back down to your head. Grab a sip of water. We're gonna do cow face arms. So grab a strap since we had it already. If you need one for cow face, that is. If you've got a yoga strap, just have the metal part down towards the bottom so you don't bonk yourself like I always do. All right, so just nice, strong, steady stance. So when we do standing poses like this, don't lose the lower half, right? We got to keep our foundation really strong. Press through all four corners of your feet. Take your shins energetically towards each other. Take your thighs back and apart. Draw up through the abs. Pull down through the shoulder blades. Knit your ribs in. Crown the head up nice and tall. Okay, so hold all of this. And then we're going to take, if you need a strap, take it in your right hand. Reach your right arm up. And then take your left hand, bend through the right elbow, and give yourself a big pat on the back. Use this left hand to press it back a little bit more. Crown the head up nice and tall, chin back. Okay, release your left hand out to left side, thumb points down, and then bend your elbow and bring your hand up your back, grabbing either for that strap or for your other hand. Okay. Crown the head up nice and tall, chin back, maybe press the back of your head into the right arm. Don't lose your foundation. Nice, strong lower half of your body here. And then release. And we'll do it on the other side. If you need that strap, take it on your left hand. Lift your left hand up. Bend through the left elbow. Take your right hand to that elbow and press it back. Place the hand on your back. And now if you're like me and your chin came forward, make sure you pull your chin up and back. Right hand out to the right side, thumb points down, and then bend to the elbow. Take the back of that right hand up your back and find your bind on this side, either grabbing for the strap or grabbing for your hand. I think I told most of you before, I hurt my shoulder when my little one was 1 year old, and it took me 3 years to be able to do it again on this side. So I used a strap, I used a blanket. If I didn't have one, I grabbed my shirt. 3 years it took me, and now I can get my bind again. The long game, guys. And now I can put sunscreen on my own back again. Life goals, right? All right, release it out. Release the strap, let it go. All right, let's see here. Oh boy, oh no, it's quarter after. Shoot, I have to pull a lot of things out of here. All right. Okay, let's inhale, reach it up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant those hands, step back into either a plank, taking through a vinyasa, or pressing right up into downward facing dog. And then come on down to your knees. Let's see if I'm doing it this way. Okay, so we're in a tabletop position. Let's do quick wrist stretch. So take your fingertips, turn them towards your knees. So we're still on our palms, but our fingertips are facing our knees, wrists out. If this is too much to do both at the same time, do one at a time. If this feels okay, go ahead and sink your hips back just a little bit and get that nice big wrist stretch here. And then bring it back around, fingertips back to face front. Okay, let's reach your right fingertips forward again and your left toes back. Flex the foot, turn the toes to face the floor, press back through the heel. Take a breath in here, and then on your exhale, open up, left leg to the left, right leg to the right, right arm to the right, awkward airplane. And then bring it back to center. And we're gonna take those left toes down behind you, right hand back down. Okay, so I'm going to take my right toes, I'm going to leave my right knee right where it is, and I'm going to take my right toes to the right. And I'm going to come onto the inside edge of my left foot and crawl my hands into, I did this wrong, but that's okay. So basically coming into a gate pose. And then bring it up. Okay, I totally messed up what I was going to do, but that's okay. We're ending up in the same place. So we're basically in gate pose, right? All right, let's reach our arms up. We're going to start off in modified side plank. So take that right hand back down to the earth and then reach up through the left fingertips. Press down through the left foot. So we're on our right knee. I kind of messed that transition up. Sorry, guys. Modified side plank. Let's use our side body, pull it all the way up. And then the left hand comes down to that left knee, reach up through the right fingertips, and then over your ear to gate pose. And then inhale it back up. We're going to come back into that modified side plank. Right hand comes down to the mat, leaving your foot planted right where it is. Pull up through the left hip. So this hip is going to come up towards the sky, reaching up through the left fingertips. And then bring that left hand down, spin your right foot back into that tabletop position, pull your left knee back in, okay? All right, we're gonna try it again on the other side. So reach your left fingertips forward and your right foot back. So we're in tabletop, right foot back, left hand forward, take a breath in, open up, awkward airplane. Bring it back to center. All right, take those right toes down right behind you, leg extended, hand in, okay. So I'm going to try this again, but we're going to come right into that side plank. So leaving your left knee right where it is, lift your left toes up and bring them out to the left. Come onto the nice edge of your right foot. Leave your left hand planted and bring your right hand to your hip and then up towards the sky. All right, modified side plank. And then we're going to reach up to those right fingertips and pull yourself up towards the sky. And then take your right hand down to your right leg and reach your left hand over for gate pose. And then bring it back to center. We're gonna take that left hand back down to the earth, right hip up towards the sky, right fingertips up, modified side plank. And then bring that right hand down, pivot on your left knee, bringing your left foot back behind you and pull it in. I kind of know what I'm doing sometimes. Okay. Boy, oh boy, running out of time. Okay, sit back on your heels, grab a sip of water. We are going to work on side plank, clearly. And I'm gonna skip the next like 5 things I wanted to do. Lots of options for side planks. I'm gonna show you a bunch of them. We're gonna do 2 rounds. So I would start at one comfort level for the first round and then maybe try to do something different the second time, okay? I like to teach side plank from downward facing dog because your hips are up. So I'm just gonna demonstrate real quick. If we do it from plank, I need to bring my hand in, shift over, come up, and then I'm using a lot of this. I'm straining a lot to get my hip up. Where if I come right from downward facing dog, my hips are already right where I need them to be, okay? So traditionally what we're gonna do is take your right hand to the center of the mat, come onto the knife edge of your right foot. And then at this point is where you can take your options. You can stack one foot in front of the other. You can stack one foot on top of the other, or you can bring this foot forward into a kickstand, this foot being your left foot, and reach your hand up. And you can always take the knee option that we just did in practice, okay? So let's all try a side plank, see where we're at, okay? So roll out your wrists real quick, and then come into a downward facing dog. I love side plank. All right, bring your right hand to the center of your mat, roll over onto the knife edge of your right foot, bring your left hand to your hip, and then find something with your left foot, whether you stack it in front of your right, bring it into kickstand in front, or stack it on top of your right. Okay, pull that left hip up towards the sky, reach your left hand up towards the sky. And then bring the hand down and bring the knees down for just a quick moment. Give yourself a break. And we'll do it on the other side, coming back into downward facing dog. Bring your left hand to the center of the mat, come to the knife edge of your left foot, and then find your right foot either in kickstand in front or stacked on top. Hips come up, shoulder over shoulder, reach your right fingertips up. And go ahead and bring it on down. Come down to your knees. Roll out your wrists real quick. And then we're going to do it again. So if you took the kickstand option, maybe try one foot in front of the other. Tried one foot in front of the other, try stacking your feet. If you've already stacked your foot, maybe try to raise your back foot just a little bit. So let's all meet back in downward facing dog. Bring your right hand to the center, come onto the outside edge of your right foot, and find a different variation of your side plank, using all that strength, all that stability in the abs and in the hips and the side body. Like I said, if you took the traditional, you can always lift one leg, or maybe not. Find one that works for you. And then bring that hand down. Take a break on your knees if you need to, or come right back into downward facing dog. We'll do the other side. Left hand to the center of the mat. Come onto the outside edge of your left foot. Find your side plank on the other side. Finding an option, maybe one step above what you did last time. And when you're done, come down to your knees, come down to a child's pose, grab a sip of water, do whatever you need to do to release just a little bit of all of that breath that you're probably holding in. Let your shoulders relax. Maybe sit back on your knees and roll out your wrists. And then come on down to a seat, bringing your legs out in front. Move the flesh away from your sit bones. Sit up really nice and tall. Flex your feet, pull your toes back towards your knees. Press your thighs down into the mat. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, keep that length, pull your shoulders down. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale, reach forward towards the top of the mat. If you can't grab for those toes, that's okay. Release your hands down wherever they land, whether it's your knees, your shins, your ankles, your feet. If you really want to deepen this, you can grab a strap, place it around the outsides of your feet, and hold on to that strap. Flexibility doesn't come overnight. But if you do these kinds of stretches every day, think of the long game, you will notice a difference. All right, release your forward fold. Come on back up. Let's bring our feet into Baddha Konasana, butterfly or cobbler's pose. So bringing the insides of your feet together to touch, grabbing for the ankles, sit up nice and tall. And then in order to get those knees, rather than thinking about just pressing the knees down, think about opening your foot like a book and trying to get your toenails down onto the mat. And then that will automatically bring your knees down. So I'm working hard on this. I've got 4 toenails down. I'm working on the 6th. All right, either stay here, or if you want to take a brief forward fold in this, inhale, and then exhale your heart towards those toes. If you feel this too much in your low back, come on up. And then all bring it up, bring those knees in, and then come on down to your backs. Pull your knees into your chest. Roll back and forth from side to side. I was going to bring us into cow face on the ground, but we ran out of time. So let's do supine cow face. So extend your legs up towards the sky. Okay. And then cross your right knee on top of your left. And then bend your knees and bring your hands to those knees. And then slide your hands down onto your shins. Slide them if you can, all the way to your ankles, all the way to your feet if you can. If you need to curl in to get your feet, go ahead, grab your feet, but then press your tailbone back down towards the earth. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, if I've lost you here. We have the cross. So wherever you need to hold on to, I can get to my feet, but that doesn't mean that you should feel like you have to. If you need to be holding on to your shins for the same thing, go right ahead. All right, go ahead and release. Release the feet, straighten them all the way back up towards the earth. Do a couple of toe points and flexes. And then go ahead and take that left knee, cross it over on top of your right. Bend through the knees, take your hands to those knees, and then slide your hands to the shins, pull them in. If you can, slide them to the ankles, pull them in. If you can, slide them for the feet, pull them in. Take that tailbone, though, back down towards the earth. We don't want to be curled up and crunched. We want to be nice flat back. And just breathe into it. All right, release the feet, the ankles, the shins, whatever you have. Reach the feet back up. Let's take some ankle rolls in one direction. Take them in the other direction. And if you want to take a happy baby here, we bend our knees, bring your arms to the insides of those knees, and then reach for the outsides of your feet and pull those knees down. And again, just like in that supine cow face, you want to take your tailbone now down towards the earth. If this is uncomfortable or not accessible to you, you can always take one at a time, releasing one foot and taking both hands to the other foot. Or if it just might feel good to switch it out a little bit, you can get a little bit deeper if you do one at a time as well. It's your practice, whatever works for you, either happy baby or half happy baby. Any other final movements or stretches that feel good for you here. Take these last couple moments to find your last couple breaths and postures. And then if you're ready, go ahead and release those feet down and find your final Shavasana. Traditionally, we let our feet go all the way out in front of us, palms up to the sky. If you want to put a bolster or a blanket underneath your knees to take some of the pressure off your lower back, that might feel good. If your back is really bothering you, bend through your knees, take your feet down to the mat, take them as wide as your sticky mat, and then let your knees fall in together to touch for constructive rest pose. We did a lot of hips here too. If you want to do Supta Baddha Konasana, you can always bring the insides of your feet to touch and let your knees fall out to both sides. The bottom line is to find something that's comfortable for you. Somewhere where you can start to release all that muscular energy that we used. Start to release anything in your mind that you're still holding on to. Unclench your jaw. Ease up on the forehead. Don't squint your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Slowly start to bring awareness back into your body and back into your mind. Start to notice the noises in the room, the motions, the smells, the air. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, roll your wrists, roll your ankles. Let's take a nice big morning stretch, reaching the arms overhead, toes towards the top of your mat. Take a couple deep breaths here, feeling the breath move all the way up that side body, all the way up your spine. And when you're ready, pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug in. Maybe rock and roll from side to side for one last low back release. And then gently roll to your right side using your arm as a pillow for just a brief moment here to gather yourself, gather your thoughts. And go ahead and use that left hand to press yourself up, finding a comfortable seated position. Eyes closed, maybe hands to your heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your morning practice with all of us here today. As always, for doing something good for your body, for your spirit, for your mind, for your breath. I greatly appreciate all of the support. I hope that you've found some balance and some flexibility that you can take off of your mat and into your week. And whatever your holiday week looks like, flexibility is key, right? The light and love in me honors the light and love in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you all so much. Feel free to unmute yourselves and say hi. It's weird being in the studio without anyone here again. I greatly miss you all.
Thank you, Susan. Awesome class.
Thank you.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you guys.
Have a good
Always
weekend.
so nice. You guys too. Hey, if anyone wants to practice with me on Thanksgiving, I am teaching an all-level Thanksgiving morning at 9:15, so we'll get a little turkey burn before we eat turkey all day. So you guys know me. I like to move and groove, and I also really like to eat. So we're, it's all level, but we're gonna move a lot. So do join me on Thanksgiving morning.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy Turkey Day.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.
Love you all. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Thank you.